All right, I'm going to show you one more song today. This one is From Me to You by the Beatles. It's in the key of C, and I will show you all the chords at the end in case you don't know some of them. So stick around to learn the chords, and here we go. 2, 3, ba 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 da 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 da. If there's anything that you want, if there's anything I can do, just call on me and I'll send it along with love from me to you. I got everything that you want, like a heart that's so, so true. Just call on me and I'll send it along with love from me to you. I got arms that long to hold you and keep you by my side. I got lips that long to kiss you and keep you satisfied. If there's anything that you want, if there's anything I can do, just call on me and I'll send it along with love from me to you, to you, to you. La, da, All right, so the chords that are used in this are sort of the classic chords for the key of C. You've got your C, which let's real quickly remind ourselves that you number the strings on the ukulele from number 1 is the one closest to the floor, 2, 3, 4, and your fingers are 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so your C chord is going to be your third finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Your A minor is going to be your second finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Let's see here. What else do we use in this song? We use a G7, which is going to be your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. That's a G7. We've got an F chord in here, which is going to be your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So those are kind of the classic C major chords that you're going to use, that are used in a lot of songs. But this song also uses a couple of interesting chords. It uses the other common chord to use in the key of C is going to be your D7. So the way I make my D7 is I use my 1st finger to bar everything on the 2nd fret. I'm just pushing every string on the 2nd fret. This one, and I'm really kind of pinching with my thumb on the back because you got to really put some force into this. And then I add with my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. There's our D7. That's also used in the key of C pretty regularly, and we did use it in this song. Then 2 chords that are less frequent, or that you might not be familiar with, are your G minor 7. G minor 7 is kind of like a B flat chord minus the top note. In fact, it is exactly that. So you're going to take your 1st finger on the 1st fret and get the first 2 strings. So strings 1 and 2 both, you are holding down with your 1st finger on that 1st fret. And then you're going to take your 2nd finger and go on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And then the 4th string just rings free. That's your G minor 7. And then we also have a G augmented in this song, which is going to be you're going to take your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Then I put my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string and my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you've got that. That's a G augmented chord. And then the little outro of this song, the way I do it is I go C, and then I make an A minor by just adding 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 my second finger. I keep the C, but then I add my second finger, my first finger to the second fret of the 4th string, and then I move that down 1 fret. That's my A sharp, my A flat augmented. So I've got in my first finger on the 1st fret of the 4th string, but I'm keeping my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and that's my A sharp, A flat augmented. So the last little part went, I keep this C position, this 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string for C on the entire outro. I go, to you, to you, to you, da 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 da. So I kind of walk that down. And there you go, From Me to You by the Beatles.